Autism is the fastest growing disability in the world right now. 1 in every 68 children has autism disability, and it affects more boys than girls. This is according to special education and early childhood educator at the Autism Center, Sarah Hussein Bazar, a guest on a recent episode of JTV's Spotlight program. She said the Autism Center is receiving more and more referrals from teachers, parents, and health officials, and explained some of the red flags that persons can look for that could be linked to autistic behaviors.
Under the autism spectrum disorder, you have 5 different developmental disorders. Asperger's, like you mentioned earlier, is high functioning, very, very smart, keen talent and strength and interest, probably in math, probably in animals, in music, in arts, but where they lack is the social interaction with friends. As young as 6 months of age, you can see a child exhibiting certain behaviors that are not typical for their age group, such as if you call them by their name, they ignore you. They're not giving you that eye contact, that lack of eye contact, that lack of that feedback back and forth, smiling back at you, cooing at you. Also the motor skills, you will notice that there is a delay in their walking, in their crawling, in their sitting as well. They have stemming behaviors, repetitive behaviors where they flap their hands or they flick their fingers or they squeal. Those are some red flags that you can look at. But as young as babies, look if they're giving you any eye contact, if they're babbling, if they're giving you that feedback back and forth, they're smiling at you. If you're not seeing that, then it is an area of concern that you should definitely seek out help. Probably you'll go to your pediatrician at first, and they will normally let you know, I'm not seeing this in your baby. I think you should go out and seek help. And then we've also got referrals from our neurologists, from our pediatricians, from even our Nurse Hodge, the audiologist. She would call and make referrals, as well as teachers and parents are making referrals. So we're getting more and more calls.
The Autism Center is now under the Social Development Department, where the referrals and intake process takes place. The center carries out observation to assess if the child is displaying autistic behaviors and then provide developmental therapy.
We use different forms of assessments. Some of our assessments are CARS and PEP3. We have the Childhood Autistic Rating Scale. So we just observe the child and we observe his behaviors in his natural environment, because that's best when you're able to detect. And right away, if we notice that there are some autistic behaviors, now we cannot officially diagnose. We will recommend for further testing where psychologists and neurologists and clinicians can come and assess the child and give that official diagnosis. After that, they get an observation and we right away provide services for the child. Right now, currently, unfortunately, we're only providing developmental therapy, and early intervention is very, very important, as well as giving them that occupational therapy, that speech therapy, that behavioral therapy, even nutritional therapy, because children with autism have that sensory deficiency in foods or light or touch or even sound. So therefore they need that nutritional aspect to help them, cope with the issues that they're going through.
And these services are available in the center. What do we have in the center?
Right now, what we have at the BVI Autism Center is only behavioral therapy, developmental therapy.
Okay.
We do provide the assessment, but not the speech nor the occupational, and that is a big challenge here in the BVI.
The Autism Center opened 3 years ago and caters to approximately 30 children and adults ranging in ages 2 years to 40-year-old. You can watch the entire Spotlight interview on Spotlight's Facebook page, Spotlight BVI, as well as JTV's website, jtvlive.net.